Welcome back to my NoFilter Podcast, everybody. I totally forgot to do this in my last fucking podcast, I think. So, my friend asked me today if I did something financial for my last podcast, and I said, you know what? I did not do anything financial-wise. I didn't talk about finance and, like, my advice on people who are struggling financially. So, I'm on here, gonna do, like, a half episode and stuff, and fucking just talk to you guys for a minute or two, before I go lay down on my couch. I think this marks like 3 weeks without me sleeping in my bed. I wonder at what point will I start doing that again. Fucking money. Let's just start there. I am no wizard when it comes to money because I am not rich. I don't have a business degree. But I have enough common sense to tell you guys on where you probably should put your money and how you should do it. Supposedly, you're not supposed to have your money all stashed in one bank account, so I don't do that. I also really don't do a lot of online shopping because I'm scared that Muhammad behind a 7-Eleven counter is going to fucking, like, send me, like, an Amazon gift card code, and I'm going to redeem it, and I'm going to lose everything in my ball sack. So, I just choose not to do a lot of online shopping. I'm kind of skeptical about it. And also when it comes to returning shit. Like, I bought lug nuts in my truck. Just giving you guys just bad fucking stories here. Jesus Christ. I bought these lug nuts for my truck. They're like $45. Don't even fit my fucking truck because I bought one size too big, and I don't have the original box, so I can't send these fucking things back. And even if I send them back, I don't even know how to do it. So, you know what's fucked up is that everything in this nation has just become such a fucking process to cancel. So you just choose to deal with the shit that you bought. I have this box of lug nuts. I will give these bitches away for free. I don't care. That don't fit my truck. And I was like, I'd rather just waste the $45 than go through the hassle of trying to get rid of them. So, okay, this is bad advice. Don't listen to this financial advice. Sorry, my friend just texted me something kind of important. What the fuck? Hang on. Sorry, guys. I'll get into what I'm texting about at the end of the podcast. I was not ready for that. Okay, so I'm gonna put my phone on. My bad. Sorry, that was an important message I had to fucking answer. Of course, like I said, I always get messages when I do this. All right, so this is gonna vary, I guess. I'm gonna start with first thing when it comes to money, right? If you're just paycheck to paycheck every month and you have no extra debt besides like a car payment or a note, whatever you fucking old people call it these days. When you are working paycheck to paycheck and you want to get ahead, the only way to get ahead in most cases is to fall behind. I noticed that when I was a paycheck to paycheck guy, I actually used my credit card as a tool to fucking build my ladder here. And I didn't like put crazy amounts of stuff on it, but what I would do is instead of spending $100 on groceries a week or whatever, I would put that on my credit card because now not only are you building history, but you're showing that you can make payments. And I don't think that. Oh, those fireworks! I don't think that all debt is terrible. Now, obviously, I don't think that your credit card debt. I don't give a fuck about the interest because there's gonna be interest on everything. I don't think that your credit card debt should exceed more than half of your bank account. So if you got $6,000, it should never hit $3,000 limit. You should cut that bitch off before you hit $3,000. But I use my credit card as a tool. So when I was putting that $100 in groceries a week, I would put it on my credit card, and I'd pay it off at the end of the month. And what I was doing is I was taking that $100 that I did not spend, and I was putting it away. And what I was doing was I was building a savings as I was using my credit card. And I would slowly pay back the credit card as I would never touch the savings. The savings, quote unquote, never existed. Obviously, that only works for some people. I tried showing that to my friend. The dude went fucking crazy. He bought $700 Jordans online, and now he's in a crazy amount of debt. But we love him. Those Jordans he had, by the way, fell apart. If you're wondering, it's probably knockoffs. And if you're honestly paycheck to paycheck, the only thing I can recommend to everybody is to get out there and get another job. I know that's something that people don't want to hear, but for the longest time, I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a moving furniture company, and I was working at the current place I work now. At the time, I was making fucking like $15 an hour at that second job, and I was making like, God, 17. I was making $17 an hour at my job I work now. Obviously, things are a lot different. And I even, there was a moment when I was working at McDonald's, the moving furniture, and my current workplace. I worked that for 3 weeks. Me and John did. And I did it because I was like, man, these are going to be the worst 2 weeks of my life because I was putting my 2-week notice in. And I just said, you know what? You got to do what you got to do to kind of get ahead here. So if you are paycheck to paycheck or are in debt, I highly recommend you get out there and you fucking, yes, pay it off reasonably, but also like get that second job, work that overtime. I know people don't like to hear that no more, but that if that's what you have to do to fucking make ends meet and to pay off your bills and stay out of debt and get ahead, that's what I recommend to everybody. So use your credit cards to your advantage and get another job and work overtime. Talk to your company. Be like, hey, can I get a raise? There is nothing wrong with asking. The worst they're going to say is no and probably laugh at you when you walk out of the room. But it comes down to, that's like one of the biggest things if you want to talk about getting ahead. I remember when I was working 60-hour weeks, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was tired all the time. I was waking up at 4:30, getting to work, clocking in at 5, getting off at 3:30. I would go home, shower, change, run to the moving furniture business, go deliver a piece of furniture, get paid for that, and then for like only 2 weeks I did that with McDonald's. But then after that I would go hit the gym, and then that night I would go spend the night at Claudia's, and I would get up at like 1:30 and leave so I didn't disturb their family. So I was always tired, but I was making a way to make shit work. Sleep is not a priority when you're trying to get ahead, in my opinion. Yes, it's important, but I don't know. I didn't really sleep when I was trying to make money. All I was doing was fucking thinking, how am I going to get out of my situation that I was in? And that kind of, moving forward, if you're talking about longevity, this is one of the good stuff I'm talking about. If you're also not good at investments, I recommend looking around, such as like Edward Jones or like I think Acorns kind of like walks you through on how to invest properly. But if you're like me and don't have a lot of time to invest or don't have a lot of time to watch the market itself, because the market's consistently changing, you can never predict it. Or in my opinion, you can. I think you can 100%. And I'll tell you why in a second. But the market is always fucking changing, and it does not take much to start investing so it could accrue and start rolling the ball forward. I started investing when I was 19, I think. I'm 22, so I've only been doing it for like 3 years. And I put only $100 in a month. It's not a lot, but it's sure as hell going to start doing the job when in 20 years, I think that was thunder. In 20 years when it pays out. In 401ks too. If your company offers a 401k match back, take that shit. That is free money right there. People miss out on that all the time. Especially like, I never understood companies, and this is how some companies get you, right? I won't tell like what my company matches back for 401k. Not my place to tell what they do. But some companies offer 4 or 5% match back. So when you're putting in 5%, the max amount, for example, which is like $150, so let's say that, they're also putting in $150. And yes, do they trap you down with a contract like, hey, you have to work with us for X amount of years? Yes, but that is until like that money is yours. But once you secure that money and that money is yours, that's free fucking money you just earned. You didn't have to do anything extra besides show up, be respectful, do your job. You make them money, they make you money. And there's people I talk to all the time where it's like, do you have a 401k? It's like, well, no, because I could just be investing on my own time. It's like, yes, invest on your own time, but also take advantage of the 401k. Because now you have 2 separate investments working for you. Yes, you're putting into it, and it's a slow burn. It is. Everything like I talk about is a slow burn. Like fucking my podcast. When you're investing, you're preparing for tomorrow. hope to God you make it that far, like some people just don't. But yeah, I have a 401k, I have investments, it's all locked up, stuff like that. You can't fucking access it unless you fucking use your dick tip to scan in. But no, that's my opinion. If your company offers a 401k, dude, or find somebody who does 401ks and invest through there, that's been very beneficial for me. And Edward Jones is a good one. I've heard good things about Edward Jones. Get it in. Just all it takes is going in to talk to somebody and be like, hey, this is my goal. This is where I want to be in 5, 10, 20, 30 years. And they will set you up for success. Now, depending on how anal you are about it, money just doesn't grow overnight. I think that was one of the biggest mindsets that I had. And that's how I knew. I was like, damn, if I'm not a millionaire by the age of 30, and then I have another 401k through my other job. So I have 3, but they're all like locked up and put away. You can't fucking touch it because they're a little bit higher up. But yeah, that's just my advice. That is my advice to you guys for anybody who is struggling financially. Is there anything I could really add to that? I mean, shit. Besides the fact that some people just have to downgrade their lives. I mean, other than that, I think for the most, because $1,600 is livable. With the rent, though, these days, no the fuck it ain't. It's either you own a house or apartment or you own a car. I somehow miraculously, is that the word? Jesus Christ. I somehow own both. I'm not flexing here. I'm just saying that's what I own. And it's within my budget, so that's good. But I feel bad for a lot of these people out here because they can't afford both. And that kind of fucking sucks because you're kind of then stuck working within your limits of your area because you can't fucking have a car. And if you do that, it's a piece of shit and you can't afford to get it fixed. So I don't know. That is most definitely a double-edged sword. So, God, what else? When you're buying vehicles, this is also a good one. I've come to realize, I've done the math. I went into a dealership not too long ago, and I was looking at a Mustang. And I was talking to this guy. They wanted like $50,000. We'll say $50,000 because it was like $54.95 or something like that. And I was like, what is your average interest rate? It's all about the numbers. You don't want to give them any of your fucking personal information. That is the dumbest shit ever. Like, unless you're truly going in there to test drive and buy a car, that is the only time you should fucking... I was going in there to buy this Mustang, but the first thing I wanted to talk about was money. Because I was not going to trade in my truck. I'm keeping my truck. Because I'm not going to drive a fucking Mustang in the wintertime. I was not going to trade in my truck. And I just want to know, like, I was like, what's your average APR for an average new vehicle? And he's like, well, looking at the Mustang, you're looking at about a 12 to 14% APR, which is fantastic. And I'm like, that's not fantastic. The fact that you fucking sell that and with a smile on your face makes me want to fucking hit you in your teeth because 12 to 14% is fucking crazy. 10%, that's doable. You could fucking refinance. You could refinance that. And you can refinance 12 to 14% interest rate, but for an average, that's fucking hard. Because he's like, oh, on top of that, it depends on how much you put down for a down payment. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna throw numbers at you, and you're gonna tell me how much that's gonna make a difference. And he's like, let's go sit down in my office. Let's go run some. No, fuck you. You're not running my information. I was like, I put $1,000 down. How much you guys taking off for APR? He's like, well, it just changes the amount of your payment. And I'm going to be straight up with you from my experience of buying vehicles. No matter how much you put down, unless it's some fucking crazy amount of money, it doesn't really change the price of your fucking payment. It just depends. Do you want to pay $500 now? Or do you want to progressively or give them $1,000 up front and now you're paying like $470? You're only knocking $30 off your bill. Honestly, you're better off just fucking putting nothing down. This is me just talking out of my ass at this point. You're basically better putting nothing down and pocketing that extra money that you were going to put down that down payment, because I guarantee you're going to have a fucking breakdown within the next fucking 3 months. But when it comes to buying a vehicle, it's all like, value your trade-in. Look it up online. See what it's going for. See what a private seller would fucking give it you for it. It goes the same way like when you're going like anywhere else. Just see what that shit's actually worth. Ask around. It does not hurt. Being aware of what you're buying and what you're looking for, that's a big thing when you're fucking doing this. So that's the fucking advice I got for you guys when it comes to money and investing and how to pull yourself out of debt and the credit card usage. I've been really bad with my credit card. I threw a lot of money on my credit card. Nothing too crazy, but I threw a lot of money on my credit card because I had a lot of work done on my truck, and I feel like this was a good time to put more money on it to show that, hey, I am reliable for X, Y, and Z. I've never had an issue with this credit card company, though. They've contacted me through fraud alerts, stuff like that, and they just do a great job. I feel like if I was just to be like, yeah, this ain't my credit card, just give it to somebody else, that'd be fucking wild to me. Sorry guys, this is I have a personal issue going on at home, and which I'll wrap up the podcast with this. This will be a little fucking short podcast for you guys, and if I don't like the way this sounds, if this sounds retarded, if I said anything retarded in this podcast and I lost my train of thought and I went on rants, did I talk about that one thing earlier? I want to talk about something, dude. I want to talk about something. Fuck, I can't remember what it is. I should have made a checklist. I'm not remaking this. If I don't like it, I'll remake it tomorrow. And I'm on here today because my friends were like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out investments and stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll make a video for you. No, I had to make a big boy decision today, and it kind of fucking tore my heart out. But I did it to preserve respect. I did it to... All right, let's fucking do this, right? I'm probably going to regret this, most likely. I was going through the breakup. We had no contact for a while. And then we kind of got back into contact. Very slightly, nothing crazy. And then, you know what, dude? I got tired of always reaching my fucking arm out to help. And just to show that I was there. And then... even when my head was underwater, I always try to make sure that everybody else is afloat, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. It's just, I've come to understand that you can't make people like you. You can't make people give you attention. There's just no such thing. It's like this podcast. I can't make you guys listen to this fucking piece of shit. A lot of you guys do anyway, and I'm thankful for that. As we're fucking pushing closer to 70 followers, which is nice. But I decided to fully cut them off. Not like block them or anything, just like, hey, like, I'm done. So I had to take my own fucking advice, and that is, if they want to fucking be with me as friends or relationship wise, then they have to step up to the plate, and they have to prove it here. Because my time here is running out. So if that shit's not done before I'm gone, then it is what it is. I fucking got talked to about getting Tinder. So, if you see me on there, no, you don't. I'm just browsing for the MILFs. If you're not a fucking Hispanic, 30 years old, I don't want it. Yeah, so I think, like, I was just talking a few days ago how it's good to lead by example. Obviously, don't follow me when it comes to this kind of stuff, because sometimes I say some shit that makes no sense. So, and I also give you guys really good advice, but I do not follow my own. I do not follow my own advice at all, because I get delusional, and I just let my heart lead the way, in which case that should just not be the case. So yeah, I made a big boy decision today. The ball's in their court. Fuck, what else? If they want to prove it, they can. If not, then it is what it is. I was just fucking... This is what I want to talk about earlier. I saw a fucking Mustang at the gym, and I sent a picture to Adrian, and I was like, fuck, this is a nice Mustang. It was like named Eleanor. You guys remember that movie, Gone 60 Seconds? That was a good fucking movie. And I sent a picture to Adrian, and he's like, that's a V6 with a body kit on it, right? And I'm like, what the fuck was the point of spending all that money on an exhaust, a body kit with tinted windows, fucking wheels, rims, when you could have just put that money towards a fucking V8? The only reason why I would assume that you have a fucking, like, a car like that, a V6 of any kind, is if you kind of commute to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're an older guy. I've talked to my dad way back in the day. He's like, the only reason why I would get a V6 is because I'm pretty much almost retired. There's no reason for me to drive a fucking muscle car. I'm just driving around for a cruiser. He's like, those people who drive around those V8s and stuff, yeah, they're younger and they could afford it and stuff like that. But he's like, they're enjoying their childhood. Me, I've already enjoyed that. So I guess that makes sense. If you're older or you commute every day and you just like the car, that's one thing. But I would never buy a V6. I don't think. It's just not. I mean, like, I will say my friend drives a V6, but that thing's got some fucking power to it. I think V6s nowadays are pushing more than V8s, I believe, when it comes to lightweight power. But sorry, I'm rubbing my fucking chair. I don't know. It really depends, I guess, also on your budget, too. I was just talking about it. But that Mustang was all hype. That Mustang was all fucking hype. And I was kind of upset about it. What is going on right now? My phone's fucking blowing up, dude. But yes, that's pretty much all I got. I'm going to go back. I'm going to listen to this myself because I'm like, did my finance advice make sense? If my finance advice didn't make sense, I'll get back on here tomorrow and I'll redo it. But other than that, I hope you guys take something from this podcast and I don't know, go jerk off to it or take something from it. But other than that, I'm gonna go lay down on my couch. Good night, and I'll talk to you guys later.